You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hey everybody, it's OMAD Caroline. How are you? My husband Ted, I know you guys all know him. He used to be known as T-Mad Ted, 2 meal a day Ted, but ain't been that in a while, huh?
Mm-mm.
No.
No.
Do you think you'll get back to that?
Um. Yeah. I think the 5 6 hour window worked the best for me. So
Hmm.
that's what I want to back to, which is pretty much the same as the 2 meals,
Yeah.
a lunch and a dinner. You know.
Yeah.
Because I don't. I think that's just to get them both done in 5 or 6 hours. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just lost my. I don't know.
Your
I
motivation?
don't know if it's motivation or
Mojo?
I don't know. Focus.
Focus?
That's
There
my
you go.
focus.
All right. So I'm jumping on because it's Friday, and I told you guys that I was going to find out some news on Friday that may change up my diet and exercise and stuff like that. So I've got Ted here because he's been very involved in this, and I figured he could share his thoughts on it. So if you guys have been following me and follow my channel, you guys kind of know that 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago, I donated a kidney to my mother-in-law, which is Ted's mom. She's doing great. And after that, I kind of was thinking about donating lobes of my liver. So, like, you have 2 lobes on your liver, and you can actually donate 2/3 of your liver, and then your liver will actually regenerate and grow back. So I had been really thinking about that because you can give your right liver, which is really big, to an adult, and then you can give your left lobe of your liver, which is smaller, to a child or a small adult. And I really was thinking about doing that. You know, Ted and my children, they kind of knew I was thinking about it, but they were like, hey, wait a few years, make sure you're healthy, make sure your kidney function's good, all of that kind of stuff. So, on the 5 year anniversary, as it was approaching, I really felt it laid on my heart to become a living liver donor. So, I talked to Ted and I talked to my kiddos. I prayed about it, spent a lot of time with God, and I just felt like it was time to start moving forward towards becoming a living liver donor. So, like I said, I prayed about it, and then I had Ted and my children pray about it and let me know what they thought. I think that if any of you guys would have had it laid on your heart or was totally against it, I probably wouldn't even have considered it any further. So I would have felt like it was a sign from God that I should reconsider and rethink about this. So, you want to share a little bit how you were feeling?
I think you kind of gave us, veto rights in a way, I guess, if you wanted to. But, it's something I think me and both of the kids probably never thought about doing it ourselves or so. And it's not something that we would sign you up for, you know what I mean? But we realize that you're being called to do it, and so even though some of the risks are higher, quite a bit higher with donating the liver than the kidney, we don't want to stand in God's way or your way or God's way of using you, and, to help somebody else. So, it's a little scary, I'll say, but luckily we've been blessed with have enough vacation days and stuff that I'll be able to take off to when you get home to nurse you, I guess is the right word, in the recovery, so
Yep.
So we're proud of you, and we're behind it.
All right. So where are we at now? So I got back from the Spartan race in December. It was December 13th or something like that. And then I went back to work for one day, and then on that Tuesday and Wednesday following that, I went to Cleveland Clinic, which is a couple of hours from where we live, and Ted went with me, and I went through 2 very, very long full days of testing. So they're very thorough on testing, and they're very, very, very picky about living liver donors just because it is a lot more dangerous, and they need to make sure that I'm going to be okay after the fact. So they're very picky about that. So, we've been, ever since then, I've been kind of waiting because they're going through a whole process. The staff looks at it and looks through all my testing, make sure that I'm a good candidate. And then today they actually had to present my case to a board of doctors which have my best interest at heart. So you've got the transplant team who wants my liver to go to somebody, presenting me to a group of doctors who are trying to find reasons not to let me donate, pretty much. So that's what happened today. So I got a call today, and my liver looks really great, and both teams feel like I would be a great candidate. So I still have 3 tests that I need to do. They're cancer screenings. They don't think there's going to be any issues. I don't think there's going to be any issues. It's just a matter of getting in to get those tests. With COVID going rampant right now, it's kind of hard to get doctor's appointments and get in for, your mammogram, stuff like that. So I just have 3 tests that I need to get done. One of them I have scheduled for February 15th. Hopefully the other 2, my doctor can call the orders in and I can get them in, but they won't be scheduling surgery for me to donate until I get those 3 tests done, and then I get the final stamp of approval. But right now I'm approved, contingent on these 3 tests, which they feel like is going to be fine. So like I said, I wanted to give the right lobe to an adult and the left lobe to a child or a small adult, and but because I donated a kidney, they really want to make sure that I'm safe as possible, or I've got the best outcome as possible. So they're only allowing me to donate the left lobe, which is okay, and that will be probably going to a child or a small adult. So when we talked to the surgeon and that, Ted was in there with me, he said, it's funny because the mass my body is kind of determines the mass of the liver. So even though I had a very lean liver, like my liver was like 2.7%, and I guess the average person's liver is 5% fat. Mine was 2.7. So they said it's like a beautiful liver, she told me today. But I still can get my liver to be smaller, and the smaller I can get my liver, the more opportunity to find more candidates that maybe be a better match for me. So he suggested that I have a good, at that time I was a little up in weight. He wanted like 20-30 pounds dropped, so he would like to pretty much see me get to a healthy BMI. So it was weird because I've been struggling with wanting to lose weight, because I'm very happy at this weight. So I almost needed to know if I was approved or not, before I started going real full go on how I'm gonna being really weight loss focused, even though I kind of been saying that to you guys for a few months, but a lot of it was because this was on the back of my mind. But now that I got that phone call, I definitely want to focus. I want to have the best liver possible for donation. I want it to go to and not have any issues. I want it to be small enough where it's going to be a nice, smooth transplant. And I want my liver to be as healthy as possible so that when those cells regenerate, I've got a really, really good liver when it grows back. So if that makes sense. So I'm planning some big changes as far as diet. The liver really struggles with saturated fat because it's got to produce bile, to make sure that that fat and stuff doesn't go into your blood. So I'm really going to be eliminating as much saturated fat as possible. Also going to really cut back on sugar. The liver struggles with filtering out sugar. I'm going to really try to cut back on any processed artificial sweeteners because our liver detoxes, all that stuff. So I'm going to try to make life easy on my liver up and through this surgery. So that
And they made it sound like, if I remember, the doctor made it sound like, I mean, a good focus for a month or two would really make it a difference.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
it ain't like you have to wait, it takes a year for it to get there. I mean, the liver does its job pretty fast.
Yeah. It will take a good 3 to 6 months for my liver to actually regenerate and grow back. All right. So what's going to happen? I think one of the biggest things I was struggling with, and I know it sounds really selfish with this decision, was that I'm not going to be able to run or do any kind of major physical exercise except probably for walking for a good 3 to 6 months. So pretty much nothing strenuous until my liver is fully regenerated. So I think I get a little bit fearful of that just because I've worked so hard to get to where I am, and I would hate to gain weight and number one and become unhealthy again, which I doubt if I will, especially now that I'm putting into practice this new way of eating healthy. So I would think I'll be okay if I focus on healthy eating. But number two, I just think I'm really, really going to miss my physical working out. I mean, I don't think anybody knows how big of part of my life that is except for you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you want to talk about it a little bit? Because I don't even think my family or closest friends know.
I mean, you're into, I mean, you enjoy, and not just enjoy working out. I mean, it drives you. It makes you get up, 5 a.m. or 5:30 or one of them. I'm still sleeping, so I don't know which time it is. But get up and jog. I mean, you feel great when you do. You're it's not just a hobby; it's a way of life for you now, and you've really gotten into it.
Strength training will be missed a
yeah,
lot.
Yeah, because that is the thing with this. I mean, the doctor was very serious. He said, there's going to be the recovery is a week in intensive care, and then pretty much bedridden for a month or so, maybe longer. I don't know.
Well, not bedridden, but walking and stuff.
But I mean, he was very, and you were good about that. You saying, look, you got to tell me.
Yeah, I did.
Because you're going to be tempted once you feel good after 2 weeks to start walking around or something. So we want to make sure that he says, look, give me some very strict guidelines, and it's going to be. I mean, because you've been running hard lately. You've been running. I go drop her off 20 miles away the last couple weekends,
mm-hmm.
and you run home. So it's going to be a good 6 months probably before you can do that again. Even if you even want to run that far, I don't know.
Yeah.
But just to be able to get back into running, I don't know what your goal is. I don't know if you'd like to run 5Ks by August or something again.
I don't know because at the rate right now, if I get testing, I'm thinking maybe the surgery won't happen until April.
Well, April, yeah.
So I would be lucky if I could even start jogging.
Yeah, I mean, I guess
by July.
You can look
so
at
I
least
doubt
3 months of not jogging at all is what we're saying.
Yeah, 3 to 6 months, he said.
Of not jogging at all. And then,
no running and stuff, he said. So.
But the good thing is, he said once that's over, I mean, there's no reason you can't be back doing everything you want.
And I think, too, it's I just think it's a lot of selfish thinking, you know what I mean? It's I'm finally where, 10 miles, it seems fun, and I don't know, sometimes it's it feels good to, be able to just go run a 5K hard and it not be a big deal, and I think it might be a little struggle for having to start from square one, but it's okay, right? Because like like I said to my mom, I was unhealthy for years and not jogging and that because I wanted to drink beer, drink wine, and eat. At least I am hanging up my running shoes to save a life, right? And probably a child's life, so it's so worth it.
Yep.
So
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. So okay, so we know that. So as far as my working out, I've got a couple of goals that I'm trying to reach by the end of January as far as running. The more I read up on like super long distance running, like marathons, ultra running, stuff like that, it does put a little stress on your liver just because, you know, your liver is the one that has to work to release glycogen when you're getting into those glycogen stores. Your liver's doing that. Your liver is freaking amazing, you guys. Like, I don't think I ever knew how amazing the liver was. Like, it's the one in charge of like releasing hormones. It's in charge of breaking down glycogen to give you energy and you know, pretty much regulate your blood sugar. You know, it's just, so I'm just trying to think, you know, I got a couple of goals that I've set for myself by the end of January, and then starting in February, I'm going to ease up on the distance running and probably only do 10Ks on the weekends and at the most, and go back to maybe 5Ks during the week for my short runs. So that's going to change up. And then I am going to be really changing my diet to a liver-friendly diet, which I'll share more in detail. I already got like a card that I've got hung up on my kitchen wall showing like the low saturated fat proteins, you know, and so definitely it's weird because like, you know, us fasters, you know, you hear bulletproof coffee and like, you know, the coffee with the butter in it and stuff like that. And you realize that, hey, you know, fat doesn't spike your insulin as much when you read Dr. Fung. But I started digging back into Dr. Fung's book, and he thinks saturated fat is bad. So like, I think we tend to comb over and throw all fats in a good category. And I think there's a very, very big difference in saturated fats and our unsaturated fats. So like, definitely going to be moving away from saturated fat stuff and getting rid of sugar and getting rid of all processed foods. So going to be a very strict diet, and that is starting tomorrow. It's weird. I just needed that phone call. Isn't that weird? Now I'm just like really, really focused, and I know that there's like a little kid probably dependent on me to get my act together, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that's all I wanted to share. Geez, it's been 18 minutes. So,
cut it in half and do two
yeah.
more. Part 2.
So anyway, so that is the news, you guys. So, sorry this video is so long. I'll keep you updated on like, you know, how make sure the other 3 tests are good. Like I said, my son said this could be a Abraham Isaac kind of thing, and you know, God just testing to see if I would do it, and then all of a sudden something will come up where I can't.
Yeah, I mean, if one of the other tests, if you can't, then they're gonna have another issue though.
Yeah, then I got something I got to
Yeah.
take care of for me, but yeah, but that's okay. I ain't scared. But anyways, yeah, so that's the news, you guys. Thanks for hanging in there for this video. Thanks for doing this video with me.
It's all right.
All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
Bye.